you for joining us. My name is Brandon Green. I'm the founder of Voice of Hair, and I am with you tonight because we are bringing you something kind of different. We are calling this our Salon Quarantine.
Hey.
You know, so right now I am streaming on Facebook and on Instagram.
Are you streaming on Instagram? I'm not on.
It's okay. It's okay. I just started it.
Okay.
Go ahead and join on Instagram, Jazz, and then we can make sure everybody can see it. So again, I'm Brandon Green. I'm the founder of Voice of Hair, and we are doing something a little different tonight, which is Salon Quarantine. So all of us have been going through it. I know personally, many people I know have been impacted by this virus one way or another, and it has changed the way we have been operating. But I just wanted to do something in a way that I could where, hey, some of us are struggling with our hair. So I wanted to bring to you some amazing, talented stylists who could help us while we can't get to you, while we can't get to the salon. And obviously this is free because, some people are, having financial challenges. So I'm not trying to, offer a class or anything like that is going to take any money out of your pockets. But tonight I have Jasmine Black. She is the owner of the studio Lush Detroit. And so she is going to walk us through like a really easy style that we can do, which is the Flexi Rod Set. But I know some of us struggle with that. So Jazz is going to just walk us through the products, the how to get the technique right. And then if you are streaming on Facebook, all you have to do, if you want the list of products that are being used today, just comment products, and then you're going to get a message from me in Facebook Messenger, and then you can just click the link and you'll have the list of products. And no, these are not, all Voice of Hair products. I'm really just not trying to promote anybody particularly, but I just want you to have what you need to achieve the look while you are quarantined at home. So anyway, let me go ahead and allow, or I'm going to introduce Jazz. So again, if you're just joining us, the first thing I want you to do though is just, if you could do us a favor and just, let us know where you're tuning in from, because we want this to be interactive. And what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to try my hardest to go between Facebook and Instagram and answer any questions that you have. So Jazz, can you do me a favor and leave a comment in the Instagram live, and then we can go live together and I can add you.
Yes, you want me to leave a comment in the Instagram live?
Like, go ahead and just leave a comment so I can, or request to go live with me on Instagram.
Okay, you know what? I'm about to go on your, okay, hold on one second. Sorry about that.
So we just give us a moment. And in the meantime, while we're getting the Instagram live set up, if you're on Facebook or Instagram, wherever you're tuning in from, just let us know where you're. So I see Belize, Atlanta, Arizona, and then on Facebook, let me see. Facebook, I'm like a little bit behind, so bear with me. And then again, like I said, if you're just joining, I have a cough drop in my mouth so that I am not coughing all over. But
okay, I just chimed in.
Okay, cool. All right, cool. I'm about to, you guys just give me one moment and I'm going to go live with her on Instagram.
Okay, I'm going live.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Hey, everybody.
Okay, hold on one second, y'all. I need to. All right, so let me just introduce Jazz. And Jazz, it's like a little bit of a reverb. I don't know if that's because we have these two at the same time.
You know what? It could be. Then it just went off. What did you do?
So maybe it's when I'm talking. Well, that's cool because I'll mute myself as much as possible.
Okay, no problem.
All right, so if you're just tuning in, again, I'm Brandon Green. I'm the founder of Voice of Hair, and I am here with Jazz Black. She is the owner of Studio Lush Detroit, which is a really beautiful luxury salon in Detroit. And they really specialize in healthy hair care, from hair color to blowouts to Flexi Rod Sets. So she's gonna just show us some techniques. And again, you can figure out the products that she's using by just typing products if you're on Facebook. And on Instagram, I'll share the link when we get done. Okay, Jazz, I'm gonna mute myself and I'm gonna.
Okay. All right, hey guys, as Brandy said, my name is Jazz. I am owner of Studio Lush Detroit, and I'm gonna show you the easiest way to achieve a Flexi Rod set. at home. It's not that hard, but you do want to take things step by step. So we're going to break everything down. First of all, let's introduce Tam. This is Tammy. This is our model for this evening. Everybody say hi to Tam. Okay, so before you start any style, especially a set, you want to make sure that you have shampooed and conditioned your hair thoroughly. Okay, we always like to shampoo at the salon, followed up by a moisturizing shampoo and a hydrating conditioner. The more moisturized your hair is before the set, the longer it will last. It'll prevent it from drying out. Okay, so once that's done, you're going to make sure your hair is soaking wet. Now, we're starting her off wet. If you have a tighter curl or kinkier hair, you can also pre-stretch your hair and follow the same technique. And what that'll do is just keep your shrinkage and keep your length going. So one thing I do love about Flexi Rod Sets is that you can get a really curly look at the set.
Jess, can you hold on 1 second?
Sure.
So I have to figure this out, and I appreciate your patience, everybody. So it's an echo, and I don't know if it's because
I probably have to turn one of these off. I'm gonna turn the Facebook, the live off, the Instagram. No, I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry, I muted myself.
Okay.
You're gonna turn Instagram off?
I think that's probably what's causing the echo because the phone is so close to the computer. Or let me see if I can like push it over a little bit. Let me see.
Okay. Oh, is it from me? They said it's not you. So I need to turn one off.
Now it's not echoing now, but I can't hear you from the computer, from the Facebook Live. But can you guys hear me on Instagram? I think so. Hold on. Okay, I can hear you through Instagram. Okay. Okay. All right, sounds good. They saying it's okay now. I don't know. Oh. Oh.
Maybe it's my computer.
Okay, I'm not hearing any echo.
Is anyone else hearing the echo now on Instagram? I think so.
I can hear you now. Yeah.
Somebody said forget Facebook. Okay, how about this? For Instagram, go to Studio Lush Detroit's page, and then on Facebook you can. I'll stream it on Facebook here.
Okay, so I'm about to go live. Okay, so if you guys want to watch live from Instagram, Studio Lush Detroit, I'm about to go live right now.
Okay, bye y'all. If I can figure out how to make it work, I'll come back. Thank you, Facebook, for waiting for us and being patient.
All right.
All right, Jazz, are you here?
I'm here. Yep. Can you hear me?
Let me. Jazz, are you still there?
I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Thank you all who are still with us. I promise you it's going to be worth it, because if you have ever tried to do flexi rods on your own, you know that it can come out really great or it could be a big fail. So it's going to be worth it.
All right. Hey, guys. We're still working
Jazz,
with
can
Facebook.
You hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
I'm I'm not sure why. I'm not muted. The audio was on.
We're gonna get this together. Did you mute? You muted it.
No, I didn't.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
I cannot hear you. I'm gonna mute you and unmute you, but it must be muted on the device. Is it? No?
Nope. Sorry, guys. We're still trying to get this together. Just hold tight.
I can hear you.
You can hear me now? Okay.
Are you on Instagram now?
I'm on Instagram. Can everybody see me clearly on Instagram? Y'all can see my mannequin. Y'all can see Tammy. Okay, I think we're good to go.
Okay.
We good?
Yeah, we good.
Okay. Okay. All right. So sorry about that, guys. Okay, so now we're back. We're back to sectioning, okay? So you want to make sure the hair is wet. If you're doing a dry set, you're going to do the same steps. I am going to come across and I'm going to section off the back section. And on a real head, this would be about like mid-ear, okay? Let's talk about mid-ear. So I'm going to section this off. So we all know there are a variety of products on the market: creams, custards, gels, setting foams. Personally, I like to use setting foam when I'm doing a set because it puts a lot of definition, shine, bounce, body, but it dries quickly and it's soft to touch. So foam mousse is always going to be my choice. If you have an issue where your ends are a little bit more wiry, whether you need a trim or they're more unruly, you can use a little edge control. This is my favorite by Care. This is the best edge control in the world. That's just my opinion. It's heavy enough and it doesn't get oily as it dry up. You can put a little bit out in your ends as you roll up, but if you don't need it, then don't do it. You want to use this minimum, like the minimum amount of product as you possibly can, just so you won't be dry for like 4 hours.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, real quick, before you go any further, you're dropping so much knowledge and so many gems. I just need everybody who is watching us, since we did have a little bit of technical difficulties, I would like you to do us a huge favor. Can you please go ahead and just share this video, because I think there's so many people who need to see it. And so we are trying to get to 300 shares tonight because it's super important. So if you can, just really quickly, I need you to do me a favor and share this video, like it, so that somebody who might be at home struggling with their hair, they can watch it and get what they need. Okay, that's it.
Okay, so we're sectioned off. We have our foam setting lotion. I'm using Nairobi. I love Nairobi because it's really thick and creamy, so it holds the hair as you set it. If you can't get your hands on Nairobi, I like the Jane Carter foaming wrap, and I also like Lotta Body. You can get Lotta Body at any beauty supply store. So I don't do section by section, I do the whole row. So I'm gonna saturate products throughout the whole row, and then we're gonna start rolling. Now, I like to take smaller sections just so we can dry evenly and the hair dries like around the same time. We don't want the outside being dry and the inside being wet. And the best way to do that is to section off your sections almost the size of your roller, okay? So let me quickly just go over different sizes. The size roller you depends on how tight you want your curl. You're gonna use a fatter roller if you want more of a looser curl wave situation. And then the smaller the roller you use, the tighter your curl will be. So depending on what look you wanna get, that's how you're gonna determine which size roller to use. We're gonna go medium size today. And I'm gonna show you 2 different ways to roll. You have the traditional flat spiral wrap, and then you have the corkscrew wrap. So the corkscrew wrap is kind of like, it gives you the look if you were doing like a wine curl set. So it's gonna kind of be like this. And I actually have 2 mannequins that are already done, and I will show you exactly what each curl looks like once we're done. So I'm gonna start over here. My mannequin stands a little teeter-tottery, so bear with me. We're gonna start with the flat wrap. So once again, if you have hair that's a little bit more unruly on the ends, right here, You can add a little edge control to hold that tight. And you want to pull top up, going in the same direction as the parting, all the way up. Then you're going to bend the top. Now, if you don't have a hooded dryer at home and you're going to sleep with this overnight to dry your hair, you can kind of go ahead and donut it. That way you can have a more comfortable sleep. But that's not necessary. That's not necessary, but you know, just if you need to sleep at night, I keep mine straight because I have access to dryers. And I want to make sure that length is maintained. Okay, that is going to be our flat wrap. I want to make sure everybody can see that. Everybody can see that. Nice flat wrap. Okay. Now, another thing that I like to do, and depending on what your skill set is, if you're used to doing your hair at home, I know a lot of us aren't, so I don't want to make this too complicated. But what I do like to do with myself, I'm gonna put a little bit more scent lotion on her hair because she's yucky and she's not really smelling like human hair. I like to alternate when I'm doing my sections, the direction of the roller. So when you're pulling the hair out, the curls aren't clumping together. So this next section right here, I'm gonna comb that hair out perpendicular to the parts. Same thing, go toward the end. Now I don't roll all the way down to the end. I kind of do it like maybe 3/4 to the end, and then I wrap it down, just so it's really tight and taut on the roller. And then I'm gonna just roll flat, straight up. Make sure you're giving the hair a good amount of tension too, especially if you're natural. That is gonna make sure that those roots lay flat and you won't have so many like curls and waves up at the top. And then we're gonna just pretty much repeat this process, alternating the direction of the rollers across this entire section. Does anybody have any questions so far about what I'm doing? No, no, okay, so I'm gonna continue rolling.
I'm looking.
Okay. And now you notice I'm starting like 3/4 to the end. I'm wrapping the bottom part around, and then I'm rolling up perpendicular to that section. And then last one, opposite direction. That's gonna make sure that our curls stay separated when we fluff. Three-quarters to the end, I'm wrapping it down, making sure it's tight. Once again, if your ends are a little bit more frizzy, this is the time when you can add some edge control to hold those down. And then I'm coming up to the root and turning it down. So you can see, tight roll. And like I said, you don't want to take like tiny, tiny sections when you're doing your rollers, but you do want them to be small enough so you can get the right amount of definition and the hair can dry evenly. The worst thing about setting your own hair is when you spend 1.5 to 2 hours under the dryer and you come out and you're still not dry. And a lot of times that just comes from putting too much hair on a roller. So I'm going in again and I'm creating another circular section around her hair. And this time I'm kind of stopping like right at the eyebrow point. In this row, we're going to show you how to wrap the corkscrew way. So you can kind of get like that, that wand curl effect. And then I'm gonna section this part up here. Also remember too that whatever direction you set your hair in, that's exactly where it's gonna live. So if you know you like to wear like a deep side part or a middle part, or however you like to wear your hairstyle in the front, that's exactly how you want to set it, because it's a lot harder to try to maneuver the hair once it's put into place. All right, so I'm gonna move her here. Everybody can see her. And I'm gonna start here in the front. Once again, distributing a lot of products because I want enough for the whole section. I don't like having to stop and do section by section. So we're taking an ample amount of product. I'm putting it in the hair, soaking it up. She's gonna require a little bit more because her hair is a little bit different.
And And Jasmine, for anybody who is just joining, I think we maybe just let them know again, we are doing, I'm going to unpin her video for a second. So if you're just joining us, again, we are doing tutorial Salon Quarantine with Jazz Black, and she is showing how to do Flexi Rod Set on her mannequin. Now, if you have any questions, like she is here, she is a wealth of knowledge. Make
Whatever
sure you
questions you have, you can take it right now.
Yes. So go ahead and leave a comment, and then please like and share so that we can help other people during this crazy time.
Okay, so now we're gonna move on to the corkscrew curl. And I've seen many methods for this. Some of them you're moving your hand all like this. We're gonna simplify this down. When you're doing the corkscrew, you wanna start at the root and you're gonna wrap down, twisting the hair as you go, and kind of making sure that it's an even amount of space between each loop. And you're gonna wind that all the way down. Once again, if your ends are unruly, when you get to the bottom, you're gonna add a little edge control, but she's good. And I'm gonna just tighten that up right here. And I'm gonna hook that in. So, okay, that was a fail. Let's try that again. She's gonna need a little edge control on this roll. So I'm gonna come back in. Make sure that space is there. And make sure that's tighter too. There we go. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that, guys. And that's another lesson on this too. You have to make sure that when you're rolling, you're using some tension. You're using some tension. So I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna make sure I am rolling in the opposite direction. Once again, I'm coming from the top. And then I'm just corkscrewing down, making sure I'm keeping an even amount of space between my twirls. That way my set can look consistent once we're dry and ready to style. Tension, tension, tension. And then we're gonna hold that down there. And we're gonna repeat that same mannerism throughout the entire head. Now I'm actually gonna go in and put some edge control on her ends, because her hair, out of all the mannequins I pick at all times, I already preset too. This one is giving me the most problems, so let me make sure, hold on. I'm coming here, looping, twirling down, just repeating the same manner, but flipping the direction of each roller. And that's gonna be the main thing, just making sure you're moving back and forth. And I'm gonna take a little edge control because she's struggling. She's struggling major. Any questions thus far? Let's see. Move the mannequin over, Jazz. Okay, hello, can't see that part. Okay, sorry guys. I'm trying to fix her. She's actually like really falling apart.
Can you all see? Okay, because I can see fine.
I think the Facebook can see fine. I gotta make sure to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Taking a little edge control. Y'all see that? Filling those ends. If you guys are looking for a really good edge control, Avalon Carrot Hair is by far the best. I'm gonna redo this one because I feel all the way apart. And notice I'm twirling from the top, I'm holding at the root, and I'm just twirling down, making sure it's even space between each part, going back in, setting that. Can you guys see on Instagram? Moving a little bit closer so you guys can see that. And I'm taking that edge control and I'm locking that in. And then I'm gonna just kind of continue. This would be a good time if anybody have any questions or is there any confusion on anything, we can go over that now because I'm gonna kind of whip through this section quickly so we can get to the fun part, which is styling it out. But if your hair dries out in between, just get you a nice water bottle because you want to make sure, especially if your hair is drier, that it stays supple. If you are starting from a dry set, if you pre-stretched your hair out first, then I would recommend going section by section and doing your setting lotion, just so your hair doesn't revert back fully by the time you put the rollers in.
So Jazz, I got your Instagram covered now.
You do?
So I'm gonna build you the questions from Instagram.
Okay, perfect.
Somebody wants to know, can they do this on coarse hair? Because obviously this model's hair is very straight.
Yes, she has Yankee perm straight hair. Yes, you can do this on coarse hair. So if you are like a hair typer and you base your hair off of types, if you are like a 4B or 4A, I would suggest pre-stretching your hair first. And you can do that by even blow drying or putting your hair like into 4 plaits and letting that dry out fully and then coming back in and actually doing the set. And then if you do have coarser hair, I recommend you put the setting lotion on section by section. That way your hair isn't like reverting back fully before it's time to put the rollers in.
Someone asked Jazz, would Shea Moisture Jamaican Black Castor Foam be too heavy? I don't know if you're familiar.
No, it won't be too heavy. And really, to me, the heavier the foam mousse is, the better, because it gives you a lot of hold and control as you're rolling. Foam mousses in general just dry a lot lighter in face. Even if it feels really heavy at first, that actually works in your favor when you're doing the set.
Okay. And so another question that just came in is, if you don't have a dryer, would a bonnet overnight, would that work?
Yes. So if you don't have a dryer, I don't even suggest you put the bonnet over it. You just got to go to bed, let it air dry. And my rule of thumb is, if you're letting it air dry, it has to sit in at minimum 8 hours, like a full night sleep. Another thing you can do too, just to kind of speed it up, is if you have like a handheld dryer, just kind of rotating around maybe for like 20 minutes if you have the time, and then letting it like finishing up overnight. Okay. But a hooded dryer is not required. You don't have to have a hooded dryer. I'm still going in, moving my rollers. I want to make sure you guys can see how I'm starting right here from the root, kind of tightening it in, and I'm just rolling it down. And then I'm tightening it up and hooking the top. Also remember too, like I said, if you are air drying your set overnight and you do need to go to sleep on it, keeping them straight down may be a little bit uncomfortable, so you can donut them. That way your sleep at night is a little bit more comfortable. So I was mentioning earlier before, I love the Flexi Rods because you get the curly look, but you don't have to lose all of your length. Perm rod sets are amazing too, they look good, but I do prefer the Flexis, only because you can keep, you know, more of your length with the look. Your hair doesn't shrink up as much.
And another question is, how do you maintain the style?
So we're actually going to go over that in depth once we style out the other mannequin head. But my favorite method is to loosely pineapple the hair on top and then put your bonnet over it. That's it, just as simple as that.
Perfect. And someone asked, now this is a really good question, because I know I am struggling right now not getting an appointment, but we have split ends. So they said, if you have split ends, what do you use for fine, thin hair?
Okay, so we all know the best way to get rid of split ends is to cut them, right? But if you can't cut them, you know, we can't get into a haircut right now. The best thing you can do is just try to seal your ends in with the moisture-based cream and a little bit of oil. The perfect oil to use is the Voice of Hair Elixir. It's good on fine and coarse hair. I actually do have a recommendation for a moisturizer that I can show you guys a little bit later. As it pertains to a set, like if your ends are really split and you're trying to do the set, then you want to make sure that you're locking those ends in with a little bit of edge control, so they're not like frayed and sticking out and, you know, ruining the look of your set. And that's a really, you know, since I'm bringing up the ends, this roller has come all the way down, hold on. It's really, really important too, especially with your sets, to make sure that you are really sealing those ends and laying them flat on the rod. Otherwise, you have literally wasted your whole time doing the set, because the look will be completely thrown off. So the ends, you just want to make sure that they are flat and very close to the roller. And even if you're rolling and as you're noticing, like as you're finishing up, some of the ends are fraying up, just go back in with either a gel or the edge control and lock them back down. End papers are another good option. I don't have any here at the salon and I cannot find any, unfortunately. It's a little bit more time consuming, but that is a way that you know for sure that your ends are going to be locked down.
So Jazz, another question we have is, how can I test my hair to find out my hair texture?
So how to test your hair to find out your hair texture? Well, checking out your hair texture is either going to be fine, medium, or dense. The best way for me, how I like to figure it out, is put your hair in a ponytail. If your ponytail diameter is about the size between a dime and a nickel, you know your hair is finer. If you're getting more to like a medium quarter size ponytail, you know that you're about medium. And if it's really big, like a $half size, you know your hair is coarse. And texture runs on both ways, density wise, so you can have fine hair but have a lot of it. So you have heavy density, but fine hair. That's how my hair is. Or you can actually have coarse strands and have fine density throughout your hair. So it's a double-edged sword. That's just a quick way that I like to do it. But if you can see your scalp typically when you part, if your curls don't last a lot, you usually have like fine hair. If you can't see your scalp a lot, your hair is really thick. You know, thick girls know they got thick hair. All my thick girls know they have thick hair, but the ponytail tests are kind of an easy indicator for you to see at home to see like what your hair texture and density is. And I will say this too, the finer your hair is, the shorter your dryer time is going to be. The thicker your hair is, the longer. The thicker your hair is too, the smaller sections that you want to take. Thicker hair is always going to take longer to dry than finer hair. So really understanding your texture, I'm glad you brought that up, does make a difference in like the size rods that you would use and the dryer time. I'm still corkscrewing. I'm gonna turn this around on Instagram so you guys can actually see how that's rolling. Kind of see it's evening the length. Everybody can see that. Okay. She's falling down because I did not use edge control on her. So you gotta follow the rules. Her hair is so weird. I'm mad at her. I don't know why I chose to use her for my model. It's all good though. Any other questions?
As I just added to your Instagram, I don't know if it's gonna work, but it's the link to the products.
Yep, I can see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So another question that just came in is there a way to find out if her hair is 4C, 4A? She doesn't know the terms, but she just wants to know if is there a way?
Me personally, I'm not really big on hair typing because I honestly feel like that we have many different textures and densities on one head of hair. I do feel like it can be useful to kind of help gauge where you're at. The tighter your curl is, the kinkier your hair is, the more higher your number is going to be. So 2s is kind of like wavy and straight. 3s are more curly, spirally, and 4s are more like coily, zigzag type patterns. The more higher your number is going to be. So 2s is kind of like wavy and straight. I'm hearing a delay. I can hear myself talking right now.
Sorry, I think that was me.
Okay. And I get it, it's a way for you to gauge and see, but don't worry so much about like what your hair type is. It's best for you to just learn to know what products work best for your hair. And I'm steadily coiling. I'm trying to move through this quickly. How many of you feel like you kind of understand how I'm rolling this? Anybody need clarification? Need me to slow down? Need me to zoom in a little bit more so they can see the movement? I'm actually going to switch back over to a flat wrap just in case of those who maybe didn't see it initially can see it now. So with the flat wrap, I come like 3/4 down, locking those ends in. I'm gonna use a little edge control on her just because her hair, even though it's straight, this mannequin's hair is coarse. So I'm gonna lock this in. Her hair would be equivalent like to 4B relaxed. I can say that.
So, a couple of questions.
I'll sit down this time now. That's okay.
A couple more questions are coming. So for rods at the front, should we use more foam or edge control to help roll any breakage?
Yes, so if you have like little pieces, you definitely want to use more foam or edge control. And two, you want to make your sections smaller in the front because this is the area that you're going to be able to see. That's the area that got to pop. So I find that the smaller sections right here will make sure you can't see any scalp after you fluff out, and it'll help make sure that any little hideaways or damaged areas, shorter pieces can all be hidden. Y'all really have to listen. I'm really mad at this mannequin. She is, her rollers are like falling apart as we go. I do have other mannequins rolled though, so I just want to make sure that you guys understand the movements. 3/4 down, wrapping flat toward the ends, locking that in. Little edge control. Edge control is really a secret weapon, especially if it's like more moisturizing. You have to worry about your ends drying out, but you just get a little extra lock on the ends because that's so important when you're doing a set, is making sure those ends are tight and smooth. And then this is a good thing too. So you can see right here how flat that one is and then how that's coily. So that's going to give you two different looks. That's a flat wrap, and then this is the coily wrap. So you're going to get more of a wine curl look with this one, and you're going to get more of a traditional flat spiral curl with this one. And whichever one you do, it's up to you. Just depends on what type of look that you want to achieve. I personally love the coily ones. They're super cute. And if you set like with the really large rollers, like this size, it gives it like a wavy type look. It's pretty. And I actually demonstrated that on one of the mannequins that I already set. So,
Jess, someone asked a question, what the favorite products are. So again, if you're tuning in on Facebook with us, all you have to do is type in product down below, and then we'll send you the list of products that she's recommending. But one, you want to repeat the one that you said you liked?
Yes, so for the setting lotion, I love Nairobi Foaming Setting Mousse. It's my personal favorite. I also like Jane Carter's Foaming Mousse. And if you can't have access to either one of those brands, you can't find it, Lotta Body. You cannot go wrong with Lotta Body. And it's like $6.
You are definitely easy.
Okay, so we're finishing up this section. We just have 2 rollers to go. Remember how I said earlier that each section that you do, you want to alternate the direction of the roller. So this one I just kind of rolled toward the inward, and then this one right here, I'm going to just place it the opposite direction. And then I'm going to actually do a coil set again too, just so you can see the difference between the 2 roller styles. So I'm starting at the root, and I'm just working my way down.
Someone asked you, do you prefer to use one size rod when doing a set, or do you mix them?
I actually mix. And the only reason I honestly mix it is usually I don't have enough rollers of one size. And I like having like bigger curls on the bottom just so we can retain a little bit more length. And then I'll put a smaller roller on top. So a lot of times my favorite combination is using the blues and the reds. I'll do the blues toward the bottom and then the reds toward the top. And then with the bigger rods, I use the grays and the purples. They're kind of like a size off from each other, so they complement each other well. So what it'll look, it's not that much of a contrast between the curl sides, but you get to retain a little bit more length. So mixed sets, you can definitely do a mixed set.
And again, I see a couple questions about what products you're using. So literally, if you just type the word products in the message on Facebook, we will send you a PDF of all the products that she's using, so that you can repeat this style at home.
So I'm rolling this up. I did not put, yes, I did. Y'all, please excuse this, baby. I'm gonna just roll this piece one more time. She is really falling apart. But hopefully you guys see the movements and how I'm wrapping the rods. I promise you, your hair will not be this difficult. Her hair is.
Jazz, you have a question. What products are best to slick hair either into a high or low bun?
Edge control. Edge control. Once again, I'm gonna show you guys this. Got foam all over, but the Care Edge Tamer. By far, my favorite edge control. And this will be perfect for smoothing your hair up into a bun, pushing one side up. Like, this is the product to do it with.
And Jazz, another question somebody asked is, how do you keep moisture in your hair or scalp if you have psoriasis?
So the thing with psoriasis is you want to make sure that you're starting off with the right shampoo. So some sort of medicated shampoo. We use a shampoo by Basic. It's called Carbon Tea Tree, that has therapeutic properties in it, because those type of things, oils and creams, won't necessarily fix. You can aid in it. Moisturizing your hair, you always want to start off with a product that's moisture-based. And most moisture-based water, key ingredients is water, okay? And then you want to seal that moisture in with an oil. So if you're suffering from psoriasis, you definitely want to make sure you're starting off with medicated or therapeutic shampoos and conditioners. That's the main thing. You want to make sure your foundation is always set, and then you will follow up with your oils and creams to keep it managed in between. All right, so we are almost pretty much done setting her. We just left down to the top section. So I'm going to show you a way to kind of bricklay your front to minimize the appearance of scalp from the top. And I'm going to tuck her hair down so you guys can see. Just roll this on up. Okay, so this section gets really important because if you are wearing a side part, if you're wearing a middle part, you want to make sure that how you usually wear your hair, you're actually setting it this way. This dang on mannequin is going to be the death of me. I'm so sorry. It's not staying. Hopefully you guys catch the gist still. We just gonna ignore these little pieces that are falling.
Somebody asked the question, what type of shampoo and conditioner would you recommend for natural curly black hair?
So I can name like a whole bunch, but the main thing, you want to make sure that you have a hydrating shampoo and conditioner. Basic Hair Care makes a shampoo called Hydrolot, which I absolutely love. In the salon, we use a line called Caviar. It's by Alterna. They have a hydrating shampoo. Nexus has a hydrating shampoo. Naturally curly hair gets dry and it's thirsty. So the main thing is just making sure you're using a hydrating shampoo and a hydrating conditioner that has humectants in it. That's what you want to look for. Humectants. Protein-based are very a part of a healthy hair care regimen as well, but you want to use those more sparingly than you do moisture-based. So just make sure you're using something hydrating. Basic Hair Care Hydrolot, Caviar, moisturizer, and even Nexus. Nexus Humectors is a great pick if you want to like to go to the drugstore and pick that up.
That's great. That was helpful. What somebody is asking, okay, so when washing hair, what's the first step? Do you use conditioner first or shampoo first?
Shampoo. We must shampoo our hair. I know we're in the age of the co-wash and that's all cool and dandy, but we need to make sure our scalp is clean and we need to make sure that all debris is off our hair. This is how we keep up with a healthy head of hair and scalp. Co-washing is cool to do in between, but it does not take the place of shampooing. So I always like to start off with a clarifying shampoo because I want to make sure whatever debris, buildup, pollution, anything that has gotten trapped in the hair, I want to make sure that's out. And it also creates like a really clean canvas for your moisturizing or protein-based shampoo to really get in and do the work that it's supposed to. If you're constantly using co-washes or starting your first shampoo with super moisturizing or hydrating shampoos and conditioners, then over time, it's going to create buildup. And then once that buildup is on your hair, the job that your shampoo and conditioner is supposed to do, it won't work. So clarifying is your first shampoo. And then I always like to follow up with either a moisturizer and a protein-based shampoo or 2 moisturizing shampoos after your initial clarifier.
Perfect. And someone asked, okay, so after that process, should you go straight into flat ironing, or what to use for fine hair to moisturize the hair and scalp without making your hair so heavy with oil?
So here's something that we have to really understand too, and I'm glad you brought that up. Oil is a sealant, okay? It's gonna lock in whatever moisture you put in it. If you're looking for a moisturizer, your shampoos, your conditioner, and your leave-ins are so very important. You wanna make sure that all 3 of those are hydrating. If you have finer hair, there are a lot of lightweight moisturizing and shampoos on the market, and those are things that you wanna actually look for. So because your hair is finer, it doesn't take as much to moisturize as say as somebody who had coarse hair, but you just want to make sure that you're using hydrating products and not using as much product. So instead of using like a quarter size amount for your conditioner, drop it down to a dime size. See how your hair is feeling. If it needs more moisture, then you add in another dime size. That way you're not using too much on your hair, but you're using just the right amount. So don't ever just like slap a whole bunch of product on if you're fine. And start off with like really small increments. See how it's feeling. If you need more, you can add more.
And Jazz, I just want to pause while you're in after you answered that, because you're just sharing so much information that I think people just need to know in general about how to keep your hair healthy. So if you are watching this and you're finding this helpful and you want us to keep doing these series, I would like to ask you to please share this video so that we can make sure other people see it. And I want people to definitely, if you ever in Detroit, you have to go visit.
Come and see us. We are your new favorite salon, I promise. All of our stylists are fully trained, capable, ready to go. We have 6 people here, and we specialize in all phases of healthy hair care. Okay, this is a dub. Let's see here. So I'm just kind of bricklaying, and hopefully you guys catch the gist of how I'm rolling here. You can understand the difference between rolling smooth and rolling corkscrew. I really apologize for this model. I can't believe I chose her out of all the mannequin heads I have, but I did, so I'm working with her. She's falling down, but I can show you a better set and how it's supposed to look like on another mannequin. Any questions on how to roll? Any confusion or questions on how to actually roll the hair? The difference between the corkscrew and the flat? Where you're positioning your hands on the rollers? Any questions based on that? Because we're about to finish her out.
I'm not seeing questions on that, but I'm seeing a couple other questions that came in.
Okay.
One question that came in was, how often should you dye your hair? So,
oh, that's a blanket question. Okay.
Yeah. And like, I don't know if you have specific products that you recommend for color treated hair.
Yes. So color treated hair, moisture is your best friend. It's more of your best friend once your hair is colored, because you've already broken down bonds in the hair. You've already peeled back some layers of cuticle on the hair. So you constantly have to make sure you're putting everything in that you've taken out. I always tell my clients, and we do a lot of color here at the salon, depending on how far you're going up. So if you're staying 3 levels within your natural hair shade, your upkeep will be more easier. But if you're doing high impact color like blondes, very, very light blondes, any rainbow type colors, you need to be shampooing and conditioning your hair once per week. Wow. I always recommend all my clients sign up once per week because you need unfiltered hydration, and the ultimate hydrator is water, okay? I start my clients off at once a week. If I can kind of gauge to see how your hair responded, I may be able to move to every 2 weeks. But treatments, steam treatment, quality leave-in conditioners, those things are going to be your best friend. When you make a color commitment, you are making a commitment to take care of your hair. It's like a marriage. You feed into your marriage, y'all thrive. You don't, breaking off, divorce. So I always tell, if you plan on getting color, if you already have color, it's definitely a commitment.
So I hear an echo. I don't know if that's on my end, but one quick question, Jess, is a lot of people said they have a lot of information on homemade masks. You know how people have a lot of DIY masks. What do you think about those, and how do those compare to some of these products that you've recommended?
Okay, so I am a fan of natural ingredients. I love essential oils. We use a lot of those things in the salon, but I also do believe in science. So me personally, I can't give any recommendations because I don't do a whole lot of homemade masks. However, we do additives into the mask that we already have. We do use aloe vera gel. We do use Aztec clay. We do use essential oils. We do use vinegar. So, but we add these things to products that are already balanced. So as far as like rice water phenomenons and all that stuff, I can't give you any recommendations on that, but like a lot of natural ingredients that I know are proven to work, we will add those to already like established treatments. So I'm gonna take her out the way because she did poorly today, okay? But I'm just gonna kind of come in so you guys can see the difference with the corkscrew versus the flat. I'm actually gonna do this section over just to kind of finalize this out since this one came down. If you are doing the flat, just very quickly, put a little bit more setting lotion on this section. And hopefully everybody can see this. I think I'm close enough, everybody can see that. I'm coming in to about 3/4 down. And then I'm gonna lock this in. And then I'm gonna go perpendicular, good tension, up to the part. And I'm gonna lock that in, okay? That's how you do the flat wrap. And then one more time, I'm going to do the corkscrew. And with the corkscrew, and I'm gonna do one toward Facebook, and then I'm gonna do one toward Instagram just to make sure everybody is seeing that. Just before I switch out and we actually start styling the mannequin. And hopefully you guys are picking up a lot of tips that you can actually use at home or feel confident enough to try this at home. It's really not hard. Okay, so with the corkscrew, I'm starting at the top.
Your live is on Instagram is paused for some reason.
It says it's not paused now. I don't know what's going on.
Maybe it'll come back. Don't worry.
Okay. Somebody said they can't hear me. Yep, on pause. Okay, so I'm starting at the top. And I'm just corkscrewing with the same amount of space in between each twirl of the hair. And then I'm going up to the root. And I'm locking that in, okay? Everybody clear on that? I'm taking her off because she was horrible, horrible model, horrible model. Okay, so I'm bringing her back and I'm just gonna kind of take her in. So this is what a nice, smooth, correct, flat wrap Flexi Rod Set looks like. I took some of her rollers out so you guys can actually see how that's working. Okay, I'm paused. It does say it's not working. It's fine on my end. Am I still blinking on IG? It's working, okay. So this is what our flat baby will look like, okay? This is what a correct set will look like. Please excuse my other model, she was horrible, but we're good to go on her. So I'm gonna show you how to take the rollers out. I'm gonna show you the right way and the wrong way so we both know, okay? This is the wrong way to take a roller out. You see how I'm just kind of unwinding that? And it come out. What you wanna do is kind of corkscrew with the opposite direction that you rolled.
Oh, it did end, I'm sorry.
It did? Okay, I'm gonna have to restart it again.
Or Jazz, what I would love to do is, I wonder if maybe you can like save half of her hair so that I can go live with you on my Instagram page and show them as well.
I can save half.
Yeah.
You want me to save half? I mean, she's already half. I can just keep her like this.
And Jess, I mean, yes, you have a question. Ashley is asking, for natural hair, is it best to use natural hair products like the shampoos and conditioners for hydration, or any hydrating products?
Any hydrating product will work, but what I will say is that curly based products are formulated for our hair. So you don't have to worry about if the moisturizing product properties or the hydrating properties will be there because they're formulated so. So there is absolutely nothing wrong with going to our products that are geared toward natural hair because more than likely they're going to have exactly what you need in it. Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna try to go back live again. Okay, I'm back on so people can try to come back in. Okay, so I'm taking the roller out and I'm just kind of counterclockwise unwinding. The main thing is you want to make sure you're unwinding when you're taking them out. That way you keep in the length and the curl and how it was rolled intact. Okay.
Somebody asked a question, Jen.
Okay.
Can you do this method on locks?
So yes, you can. Okay. I was actually going to try to make myself a model and do them on locks. I will suggest though when you're doing it on locks to get end papers so you can make sure it's locked in. I don't have any end papers here, but I do have neck strips. So let me get 1 second so I can cut a piece and you can see exactly how to roll that up. Hold on 1 second.
So she's just showing us what the end papers look like. And if you are just joining us, we are live. I'm Brandy Green. I'm the founder of Voice of Hair, and this is Jazz Black. And she is showing us how to unwind your flexi rods perfectly so that you don't mess up the curls. Okay, so for the person who just asked the question about the locks, this is not actually end paper, but this is the neck strip. Your end paper is going to be a very thin white piece of paper. It'll be about this length and size, and it'll be very thin, okay? So let's just say you shampooed your locks down. You're going to wet this paper down a little bit. And I'm going to take one of my locks. I'm going to have this paper like this folded over on the end like this. And I'll make sure that that is rolled inside of the lock. And that makes sure that I don't ever have to worry about my hair coming loose. And just like you do, just like I showed you, roll it up, tack it on. And that's exactly what an end paper will do. It's going to make sure that those ends lock down. And this is how you'll roll your locks. So yes, this style can be done on locks. It's for everybody. Hope that helped. Okay, so we're gonna get her separated, okay? So this is where the magic happens with your set. This is where the truth comes out about how well you set your hair. If you followed my tips on making sure the hair set close to the roller, the ends was locked in, you use the right amount of tension, and you also use the right amount of hair on each roller, you should have a very defined, very evenly curled set. And that is going to be your basis. If at any point you are taking your rollers down to check, always check at the thickest part of your hair first. Never take the roller out here first, okay? Because if it is still wet and you take that out first, it's messed up. You're gonna have to kind of re-wet the hair and roll it back up and sit back under the dryer for the duration. So you wanna make sure your hair is 100% dry before you take all the rollers down. Otherwise, you done wasted your whole two hours setting. So at this time, I am gonna actually separate her curls with the Voice of Hair Elixir. I love this oil, especially for setting hair, because it locks that cuticle down, it lubricates the hair, and it provides a great shine and definition when separating the curls. I do the absolute most when I'm separating the curls. I like to take each section and make like 5 or 6 curls. Okay, so I take a little bit, the dropper, I put it on top of my hand like such. And then I take each section, put the oil on each section, and then I start to separate. And then I separate from the bottom rows and I just work my way up. Oils, in my opinion, are always going to be the best when separating your curls because they aren't water-based. And you don't have to worry about any reversion, putting too much product on it
and messing up your curls, especially if you're natural. I'm just gonna low oil. Going in each section. And like I said, I'm sectioning 5 to 6 curls out of each roller. The more you separate, the bigger your set is gonna be. And I don't know about you, but I like big, voluminous, ridiculously big sets. And this is going to be the flat set, the traditional spiral. Now, once your curls are like set and done, you can do a multitude of styles with this. You can push it up on the side. You can make a mohawk. You can do a curly puff. You can really do at your wit's end. And because the hair is actually set in, these curls are going to last you quite a bit of time. I'll show you exactly how to pineapple the look to keep it up overnight. But as long as you have a bonnet or a satin pillowcase, these curls are definitely going to last you. That's one good thing about having a set over curling. And you're not doing any damage to your hair. You're not using any direct heat, which is always a plus. I'm just taking each section, fluffing it out. The more you practice this, the easier it'll get. We got plenty of time on our hands, so I'm sure you guys can practice this over and over and over again. And it's good to just have, basic styling techniques. Sometimes you can't make it to the salon. And although I know a lot of us don't like to do our hair, me included, sometimes we got to do what we got to do. So it's always good to just have a few little techniques up your arsenal so you can look presentable. And rod sets are always good. Like I said, you don't have to do any heat damage or put too much heat on your hair. I'm just separating these out. And if you put the right amount of product and hair on the roller, you should have a really smooth curl set. And that's really the difference between a good set and a bad set is how precise were your partings and your section and how smooth the hair was on the roller during the setting process. If you didn't start off with a good set, it doesn't matter how much you separate the hair in the end, it won't be right. So can you set your hair without a dryer via air drying? Yes, you can. You want to make sure you at least dry it for 8 hours. You can sleep on it, but give it at least 8 hours.
Someone asked, does your hair have to be shoulder length to achieve this style?
No, it doesn't. So here it is. To do it on your own, the shorter the hair, the more difficult it can be. But I do short hair clients with rod sets. If your hair is ear length, you can do a rod set. You just want to make sure that your rod is smaller. But no, it's not just designated for shoulder length hair. And the beauty about, like I said before, Flexi Rod Set is that it doesn't take away all of your length, but what you lose in length, you make up in volume. So even if your hair is shorter, this is still a great option for you. Yep. Is your hair Flexi Set ready?
This is a big not.
Oh, okay, that's cute.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm. So I'm separating still, trying to make 5 to 6 curls out of each section. If your hair is thicker, do more. Now, the thing with separating, and you have to be careful, is that your hair is more prone to frizz, which is why I like to use an oil like the elixir just to kind of minimize that. So sometimes you have to make the decision of, do you want more volume or do you want more definition? If you want more definition, don't separate the curls as much. If you're like me and you want volume, just take your time, take finest sections, make sure each section has a coating of oil on it, and just keep pressing it until you get the volume that you want.
And I'm looking at your Instagram. I think someone was asking what oil you're using, so I just let them know it's the Voice of Hair elixir. That's what she's using.
Ron just asked me, are you a stylist? Yes, Ron, I'm a stylist. You know that. Oh, Voice of Hair. Brandy, he asked if you were a stylist. So still separating. I'm just doing my diligence all over her head. How's everybody quarantine been going? Everybody good out there? Bored but safe?
Yes, and please stay inside as much as you can because this quarantine and this virus is not a joke. PSA.
Inside is the best. I mean, you know, I'm in the salon now, but I'm here by myself. There's no one here.
Not you. I'm saying for other people who might think that they could go, you know, have a little party on the side.
No partying right now. None, please. So we can get it over with. So I'm almost done separating. Like I said, I'm taking each section. I want volume with her set, so I'm just piecing it out, using a little bit of the elixir on each section for definition and shine. This hairstyle will last you if you're taking care of it properly. If you're using a bonnet or a satin pillowcase, you can get up to 2 weeks with a set. Now, it may not stay like this. You may have to shift it over into a bun. You may have to pull the side up, but you can definitely get 2 full weeks out of these curls.
Yeah, somebody's asking to limit. I'm sorry, did I cut you off?
Nope, you're fine.
So to limit frizz, they want to know, do you make the section bigger or what can you do to limit the frizz?
So to limit frizz, I'm not going to take many subsections within the section. So like this curl right here. And then when you're sectioning, you want to be careful not to try to rush through this. So I'm going to take another example. I'm going to take a little bit more oil and put it at the top of my hand because that's just easy. That's just how I do it. I'll take a little bit and then I'll pull a section and I'm making sure I'm lubricating that section very well, blocking any frizz that can come from it, and then I'm letting it dry. And then I'm gonna do the same with each section. Just know the more curls you put, the more likely you are to achieve frizz. And if your hair type is more frizzy, you just wanna make sure you have enough product to go on each section of hair so you can control it. And I'm getting to her front. Now I'm going to show you how to fluff the curls at the roots more too. If you want more volume, if you're the type of person like, okay, this is cool, but I want it bigger, I'm going to show you a way that you can do that. But once again, you choosing volume over definition, or you're going to use definition over volume. Sometimes you can't have both. Back to my And it feels so funny to be in a salon like by myself. I'm not used to this. Used to activity. Any questions on what I discussed thus far, or any hair care questions?
Someone asked, when you're going for more volume, do you add more elixir at night to minimize the frizz? Will you begin to weigh the hair down?
Yes, so you don't want to add too much elixir because you will start to weigh it down. So if you want more volume, you can just kind of tease it at the root. You only want to add more elixir in if your hair starts to look dull. So like after a few days, you don't wear the set, it's starting to look dull, and you can go back in and just put a couple drops of the elixir in and just rub it throughout. So we're coming up close.
You have another question. Someone asked, what would you say is the difference between the Flexi Rod approach and wetting and then braiding your hair and doing like a braided curl?
So a braided curl, you're gonna get more of a crinkly type effect, which is very beautiful too. And with the braiding, your hair is gonna be stretched out too. So you get more of a defined Z type shape. Whereas with the Flexi Rod, you're gonna pull on spiral. So both pretty effects, but you get a different look depending on what set you do.
And someone
the
asked,
braid outs are definitely easier to sleep on.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And someone asked, if we don't have foam, can we use a good leave-in to set the hair? What do you think?
Leave-in won't be enough.
Can you repeat the question for it?
Yes. So the question was, if you don't have a foaming pomade or some type of foaming mousse, could you just use leave-in? Leave-in won't be enough because the thing about the foaming mousse, it has holding agents in it and leave-in conditioners don't. So you're gonna need something a little bit heavy. You could roll it with it, but your hair may start to unravel on the roller and it's gonna frizz out a little bit more and it won't have the hold.
So much.
So it's definitely, you definitely wanna have some type of setting mousse to do the set. Now, if you had a gel, some people can use, you know, gels, I say finer hair, but just know if you set your hair with a curling type gel, you are gonna be under that dryer forever because it's just gonna take a longer time to dry. So foaming mousses for that reason are my absolute favorite. Okay, so she's starting to look like a little something. She has her set. So if you wanted more volume, if this was not enough of volume, you're gonna take a wide tooth comb, something sort of like this right here. And I'm gonna start down at the bottom, and you will with your hair too. And you're just gonna kind of like tease and fluff out the root. You don't wanna comb and fluff through the entire curl. You just kind of hitting up the root area. And you wanna be careful when you're doing this, very diligent, because like I said, you don't want it to take on a frizzy look. But this definitely will like increase the volume. I do more teasing and like picking out underneath on the bottom. That way you're kind of getting a full fluffed out look without having to compromise the definition on the top of the set. So I'm just coming in underneath here, kind of going back, fluffing it out. Now this is not a necessary step. You don't necessarily have to do this if you don't want to. But for those who like the extra pump, this is a good way to get it. And you can also take your blow dryer underneath the root, put it on medium heat, and just kind of hit it right at the root, and that'll help it too. And I'm just kind of going in, hitting her root up, making it bigger. I may actually pin her up too, just so you can see that. And as you can see, she's starting to take a lot of volume, big hair toward the top. And this will kind of help with any, and that's one thing, that's a pet peeve of mine, having a set and you can see all the roller prints at the scalp. This is gonna make sure that you're taking away those any like leave-in indentations from rolling your hair.
So Jess, somebody asked a similar question. They want to know, can they use As I Am Curl Enhancing Smoothie instead of Mousse?
Yes, you can. You can use that product. Just know it may take you a little while longer to dry. So give yourself like an extra 30 to 45 minutes to, to complete your drying cycle. Most sets take an hour, between an hour and a half to dry. If you're at home, it may take longer because you're more tempted to move around and go get this and move that. So give yourself like a full 2-hour cycle if you have access to a dryer. And then if you don't, you want to do a full sleep schedule. You want at least 8 hours of sleep or 8 hours of drying time before you start removing the rollers. If for any reason your rollers still feel damp or you still feel dampness at the root, roll your hair back up and let it sit longer. You never want to take the rollers out, even if your hair is slightly damp, because it will mess up the whole look of the set. I'm going to grab a couple bobby pins and be right back.
So again, Jess, while she's getting the bobby pins, if you are watching this on the Facebook Live and you want the list of products, all you need to do is just leave the comment products, and then we'll send you a Facebook Messenger with all the list of the products that she used today.
So I'm going to just create a little pin up on her side to give her set like a little variation. And I'm not using any edge control or anything on her, but if you're doing this at home, like if you wanted to pin your side up, you can use a little. I'm not a big product heavy person, so I don't really like to just saturate the hair with a whole bunch of unnecessary product. You can put a little edge control on the side over here just to hold it into place. And then I'm going to secure this with some bobby pins too, and I'm going to kind of create an X. So I'm going to turn this over this way so you guys can see how this is getting pinned. I'm going to come this way. That's gonna hold it one direction. I don't know if you guys can see that. And then I'm gonna come through the opposite direction and exit. And that's gonna make sure that that section is nice and secure. So Facebook, if you can see that, kind of creating the X diamond shape over your bobby pins. And then making sure that's covered. Taking your set. Making sure that's nice and flush. Okay, she got a little style going on. She done did a little something.
Cute.
Okay. And this is gonna be our flat traditional spiral. Just with a little side piece. And like I said, you can do a bun, you can mohawk it, you can wear it down for a few days. Your styling options are really unlimited once you do the actual rod set. The rod set, your foundation is what's gonna make it last, have longevity, have shine, have definition. So if you have any other questions before we get off of here on how to actually prepare the set, please feel free to ask me before we go. No question is too big and small. I'm gonna go in and just kind of take a little bit more of those parts. Fluff that out a little bit.
Yes, it's beautiful.
All right, she got a look, don't she? Tam is cute. All right, Tam, she's club quarantine ready. Okay, so that's our flat set. And then I am going to quickly do a quick little style on our corkscrew. So this is how a properly done corkscrew set will look. Tight on the ends, flat on the roller. And then, hold on, let me make sure this is right up. When we're taking out these rollers, we want to make sure that we are going in the opposite direction that we roll. So we're unwinding. That's how you do that. You want to make sure that you're unwinding each section.
And Jess, if you want to, we could do this one. We could save it for the IG live so that we can let Facebook go. But
Okay.
Do your thing. Do your thing. Do your thing.
Nope, I'm going back to Facebook. IG they got some time. They can see me. Sorry, Facebook. Trying to make sure everybody sees. I'm just corkscrewing and unwinding. If anybody didn't see anything or they felt like they missed something, I don't mind doing it over to make sure that you get it. That's the right way of taking it out. Let's see what it looks like if I just did it. Okay, so you don't want to take it out like this, just unwinding it. Oh, it actually came out good. That's the wrong way. It came out good, but you kind of want to uncorkscrew it. And this is an example too of taking a roller down too soon. See how long that is in the front? She wasn't quite ready. So we're gonna play with that. Unwinding this. Me personally, I love these type of sets. I love the corkscrew look. It's my fave. It's a little extra. And I did her on slightly larger rollers, so these are going to be bigger than the blue. So her curls are going to be a little wavier as opposed to tight spirals. Sorry, fix my section up a little bit. Any questions thus far?
So I'm going to save it. Somebody is asking, what's the oil? Yes, it's the voice of hair. I don't think he's listening. It's the voice of hair elixir oil. But I will add a link with the products to the story so that you can get those, the ones that she's recommending. And these are all products, not necessarily that we're promoting, but just, you know, products that you can easily access, but can help you achieve this look.
If you have a favorite, please use your favorites. I'm just telling you, you know, what works best for me, what I like, what we like to use here in the salon, things that we've gotten like good and consistent results from. So I'm taking the elixir, going through the section. So these you really want to be careful because I find the corkscrews do frizz up faster than the flats. So taking sections, making sure each section has product on it. So you're expanding the set without creating much frizz. Just piecing this apart, just like we did the other set. And I'm also going to show side by side the different sets so you can see what each type of roller technique gives you. Just keeping this going. And like I said, the roller size that you pick is all going to depend on how small you want the curl. The Flexi Rods come in an array of sizes. Yellow, or is it gray? I think it's yellow or green. Green is the smallest, like that seafoam green. And they go all the way up to like the gray and purples, which are the larger ones. They're pretty soft to sleep on, so you don't have to go to bed on a hard head if you're setting it at home and don't have access to a dryer. You don't need access to a dryer. You can definitely allow this set to air dry. And even if you do the set and the roots are a little curly or it doesn't come out exactly how you want it, you can kind of play around with it enough to make it look better. Everything gets better with practice. So the more you do these, by set 3, you should be a pro. And like I said before, this will last you up to 2 weeks. And her hair is a little finer than the previous mannequin. Finer and coarser because she has color in her hair. And believe it or not, color affects mannequin hair too. Just going through and separating. As you can see, you got nice springy, bouncy curls. Brittany, thank you for allowing us to showcase our techniques today. We really appreciate you.
Thank you for sharing with our audience and helping people, because you are giving a lot of gems and, you know, tools and things that we can do on our own during this trying time.
Yeah, and you know, another thing, like, even though we're not really going anywhere, like, this is my first time kind of dressing up since the whole quarantine, and I feel so much better. Like, you can do your hair to sit in the living room. That's okay.
Exactly. That's
On a little
exactly.
makeup, like, it really does boost your morale. Because I've been looking like a cave woman lately. So you can kind of see that taking form there. By springy curls.
And how long did you let her sit? Like, how long did you let the mannequins
Yes,
sit?
I set them in the dryers and they dry for 1 hour and 15 minutes each. Yeah. Now, when I checked her, and this like really shows the importance of like not, you want to fill at the root. When I checked this curl right here, she felt damp and I tried to roll her back up and she still didn't get the same type of set as this one did right here. Yeah. So when you are checking your rollers, check up in here. If you feel any moisture whatsoever, just close it back. If you unwind it and you feel it's damp, I'm going to advise you take a little spray bottle, some more scent and lotion, and just restart the roller all over again. Because even if you try to put it back, it's not going to have the same effect.
Ooh, that's a good tip.
Yeah.
That is so key right there.
And like I said, this is my favorite type of set. I love the corkscrew curls. They're fun and playful and full.
Someone asked, does this technique and this oil work well on a blend of natural hair and extensions?
Yes, so what y'all don't know about this baby is she actually has micro links in. So yes, it can work on extensions. Yep.
And one thing I'll just say, which you probably, they can't hear me on your live, but just as it relates to the hair elixir, if you want to use the oil, like it has a dropper, so you can just apply like the amount that you actually need. Don't overdo it, especially like when anybody's wearing hair extensions, nobody wants their weave to be greasy. So,
No.
you know, just apply the amount that you need to get the moisture that you're looking for.
Yes, greasy hair is never the vibe. You always just want to use enough to lubricate, give it the shine, give it the moisture, but never way down or greasy. And that's one thing I do love about your oil is the dropper, and you can just use as much or as little as you need. And this is great too. Like if you have edges that are struggling a little bit, this oil is amazing. Brenda, do you want to talk about like some of the ingredients that you have in there?
Sure. So the oil has 25 ingredients. All of them are natural because I am a mom and I breastfeeding and I want it to be safe for the kids as well as for me. But some of the ingredients in it are biotin, black seed oil, black castor oil, as well as rosemary, a little bit of peppermint oil. There is jojoba oil. I mean, there's a lot of different oils in it, but it's just because I wanted it to be a great sealant. And again, I always recommend that, as Jazz said, use moisture first and use the oil as the final step. So I recommend the LCO method. And Jazz, you can let us know what you think about it. But I like to say use
I love the lock method.
Okay. And
I love the lock method.
What do you recommend as the last step? Because I always say do the oil last. What do you think?
Oil is last.
Yeah, okay.
Oil is last for sure. Okay, so this is our coily Flexi Cutie. And I just, whoo, don't fall, baby. I just put a little bobby pin in the front to give her, you know, a little swag. Use the Voice of Hair elixir to separate the curls. And I just want to say, Brandy, we are using this oil very heavy at the salon, especially on our sets. We absolutely love it on sets and short hair. It is great for curling short hair.
That makes me so happy.
Yes.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna take the comb and I'm gonna go through and just make sure, you know, we're not seeing no scalp, because seeing scalp and rolling indentations is never cool with me. And you just making sure that you're just kind of hitting and combing out the root only. You don't want to go through the whole set. Because once again, the more you play with the curls and pick them out, the more prone to frizz you are. So. Take that back in. Yeah, I really like her. She's cute.
I wish I could pick her up and just like put her on my head and then
I know, right? Like an instant do. So I'm gonna bring this up closer so you guys can see her. Really cute, corkscrewy, wine. And then I'm gonna show them both so you guys can see the difference. So this is our more flat traditional spiral. And she got the pin up on the side. And then this is our corkscrew. So simple techniques, both beautiful looks. You can do this at home. I believe in everybody. This is not hard, but it does take practice. Just once you get started, you're good to go. And that's it. That concludes my session. Do we have any questions?
Yeah, someone said, just confirming, you started on wet hair, right?
Yes, I started on wet hair. If you have very coily, kinky hair, you can pre-stretch your hair first and do the same technique. Just put product on each section and roll it up as you go. All right.
Just making sure there's no other questions that we didn't miss. But no, this was so helpful, Jazz, and I hope that everybody feels a little bit more empowered as far as being able to do your own hair during this season that we're in. And I personally just love this look because like wear it curly like down, but then as it gets you might want to like slick
put
your
it in
edges,
a bun, stick it to the side, put a couple braids on the side, put a halo braid around the front. I mean, you really have a lot of possibilities with one set. And honestly, this is perfect quarantine hair because at least you know you can have a look up to 14 days. Don't go past 14 days. I don't care how tempting it is. Your scalp needs to be cleansed. You need hydration. Let 14 days definitely be the max.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Jazz. So, okay,
Thank
for
you.
anybody who is, yeah, the corkscrew is my favorite too. Somebody said it's giving them life.
Yes,
So,
Corkscrew is my favorite too.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to share this and put this in my story, but I'm also going to include the link. It's just a couple of recommended products that you can use to achieve this look, as well as like the pick, the leave-in and all the things, so that you can repeat this at home. But if you are on Facebook, all you need to do is go to this Facebook Live message and then just comment products below. And I'm looking at my phone because I'm reading the Instagram comments
Okay.
too. But so that's it. But I don't think I see any other questions. So
Any other questions before we leave? You said yes, you can get the products on Facebook. Great session. Thank you, Shauna. Auntie Julie, you are not 4C. You are so sweet. Thank you guys for joining in on us. If you are looking for a salon home in the Metro Detroit area, please make sure you check out Studio Lush. We're at Studio Lush Detroit on Instagram and Facebook. We would love to meet you and take care of your hair.
Yes. So, and also, like I said, if you thought that this was helpful, which I know it was, please like this and share this on Facebook and even on Instagram. You can put it in your story too. So
Please share it.
We'll be doing more of these sessions tomorrow. I'm going to do another salon quarantine, and we're going to focus that one on short hair. And we can continue to do this as long as this is going on, just to help everybody who might need some help.
All right. Thank you, Brandy. That was a lot of fun. Thanks, guys, for everybody who tuned in. I hope this helped. I hope you feel confident enough to try this at home. Please feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions or anything, or Brandy, and we can clarify it so you guys can get started with making yourself look cute at home, Bella.
Right. All right, everybody. Have a good night.
Bye-bye. Scotty, yes, you can get your hair done.